Why are you living in 10 cities in 10 years, and what brings you to Seattle?
Well, it started out just because I didn't want to settle down anywhere. I write, and so I just kind of wanted to experience the country. So I moved after college. I moved to Charlotte, was the first city, and didn't really have the intention of doing 10 cities, 10 years at that point, but I was there for a year, moved again, and it just kept going, and it kind of snowballed into something bigger. I figured probably read a little too much Kerouac as a teenager, and decided this might as well be something worth doing.
And we found out about Joseph. I think, Tom, you saw his story.
Yeah, there's a great article in the Sunday version of Washington Post all about your travels, and we saw that your next city, your 7th of 10 cities, was here in Seattle. We thought we'd check in with you. I've got a couple of quick questions. One is, what have you learned about living by living in these different cities? And then what have you learned about our country? Are we a homogenized whole, or is each individual city somehow incredibly different?
Well, about living, I would just say that it's pretty easy to live without things. It's pretty easy to live without the random stuff that you can accumulate, because I have had to, and I like to have things as much as anyone else, but living without it, it hasn't been a hardship. It's actually kind of makes things nicer for me. As far as cities go, it's both. There are similarities between cities. There are, cities have, there's music scenes that everyone's devoted to in their city, and everyone has their art scene that they love, and everyone has their place that you have to go eat. This is the best place in town for breakfast, or that sort of. So in that sense, people have this pride about their cities and that sort. And in that way, that does distinguish each city, because there are, the people in each city have different backgrounds that, again, are similar. And they could be, you could condense them into one narrative if you wanted to, but really they do distinguish themselves. I've met and had completely unique experiences in each city I've lived in. So
now, about our city, we have this reputation of having the Seattle freeze, where we're not all that welcoming and friendly to outsiders. Have you experienced that here?
I wouldn't say I have yet.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, the truth is, I've heard that about most cities.
Really?
When I was looking, in fact, for this move, I was looking at 4 different cities. And I actually left it up to the people on my blog to vote on the cities to move to. And so everyone that responded, it was between Portland, Seattle, Austin, and Denver. And everyone who responded and they picked a city would always have something positive to say about that city, and then something negative to say about the other cities. So I've heard that about Portland. I've heard that about Seattle. Obviously, you hear about New York. You hear about all the cities. I mean, southern cities usually have a little bit better reputation for being more hospitable, but then it also probably kind of depends who you are. So I've never left the city with the impression that, oh, these people are jerks. These people, it's the whole project for me is about meeting people, so it requires me to learn how to get involved.
But it's about meeting people who you apparently don't feel a need to still live anywhere near a year later. It's just a little strange.
Yeah, that is strange. It can be very difficult at times. I've left behind some good friends and some good relationships and that sort of thing, but I keep in touch. I live in a good age for this, where Facebook and everything else can keep me in touch with people. They know what I'm doing from day to day, and I can know what they're doing day to day. So I figure most people come and go out of your lives. Maybe not in a year, but most people at some point will leave your lives. You'll keep maybe 3 or 4 people throughout your entire life that you'll stay in touch with. So
why not just speed it up?
Yeah.
Joseph Fonseca is on the road, and we learned about his travels online, of course, and invited him in to hear his story. Joseph, welcome to Seattle.
Thank you.
Enjoy your year here.
Thank you.